What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with my thoughts on this new album from EST Gee entitled I Never Felt Nun. So EST Gee is a Louisville, Kentucky artist signed to CMG who I first learned about in 2021 by way of his Bigger Than Life and Death album. In the trap world, some have dubbed him as the new Jeezy, and I can see why given the sound of his voice, but content-wise, he is a much darker artist than Jeezy. Now, on this project, I Never Felt None, there is this underlying theme of being emotionally detached due to death, trauma, and the effects of street life. As far as the features, he brought along Jack Harlow, Machine Gun Kelly. Yes, that is correct. On a EST Gee album, we get Jack Harlow and MGK. Stranger things have happened, I guess. We also get features from Bryson Tiller, Future, and Jeezy. It contains 21 songs lasting approximately 55 minutes. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. This opens with Have Mercy. It's an ominous and eerie banger where he goes in full force, bringing you into his dark and dangerous world. I found his opening lines to be pretty chilling. I had to tell her, watch your mouth. She say it's demons on me. Now that's just my people that died before me, not trying to leave me lonely. He also gives rest in peace shout outs to his fallen comrades. But yeah, as a whole, it's a hard as nails opener. Track 2, Shoot It Myself with Future, also has this nocturnal sound with hypnotic trap bells. EST Gee comes through with sinister bars like, come knock on the devil's door, make sure you turn the camera off. It's Jay's in here, white all on their face, but they ain't Santa Claus. The Future verse was solid, and so was the instrumental. And as a result, I had no complaints. Track 3, Hell, finds EST Gee experimenting with singing hooks. It's something that he will do quite a bit on this project. At times it does get repetitive, but here it works. And the production we get has a cinematic but overcast quality. Whereas track 4, Come Home, works in some strings with a melancholy guitar riff, and EST Gee is pouring out his pain while dropping some threatening lines like, no way you love me with the same heart you love a rat. No, I'm a villain in my city. Knock is how I rap because I'll pay 100 racks to get a dude whacked. With those kind of lines, I'm sure, you know, the feds and the prosecutors will likely have a field day. I also liked when he said, do the rap and hope a necklace will help us forget. And this just kind of reinforces how the game has changed over time, because it's more commonplace nowadays to see people hanging with rats because these rats may be iced out or because they have money or lead a lit lifestyle. Track 5, I Can't Feel a Thing, has more pain-soaked bars over a tense trap beat. Now here EST Gee is giving us some of his most poignant lyricism on the project. He speaks on his mom's passing and how he couldn't sleep for days after. The following bars really stood out. Walk me closer to my gang. They ain't let me crash in flames. Sure would have been a shame if I just died with street accolades. So he's acknowledging that he had too much on the line to blow this opportunity in the rap game for chasing street dreams. And his partners wouldn't let him lose it all either. So that was definitely real. And probably my favorite lines on the whole project are, thankful that I'm blessed with pain. At least I got to feel something 99.5% of the time. Shit, I won't feel nothing. Then there is Backstage Passes with Jack Harlow, which is an early miss on the album. And while I think the wavy beat does offer a needed change in pace instrumentally, Jack Harlow's feature was super mid, as expected. Yeah, this was a weird pairing, but given that they are both from Kentucky, I guess it makes a little sense. Right after is the melodic banger Both Arms, where we get EST Gee flexing his choppy sing-song hook over an easy piano trap beat. The hook is pretty memorable, so I can see this becoming popular as a single. Track 8 is Bow and Say Grace, which returns to the angrier and fast tempo production. And on this record, EST Gee talks about sliding on his ops a lot, and also representing his hood of Riata Drive, the home of the Shiner. As a whole, it's a solid record, but the following song, Blood, is really a standout with its icy and cinematic production. And on top of this mellow, dramatic, and ghostly beat, EST Gee talks about his desire to see blood, which is pretty demonic if you think about it, but the production is so remarkable that one could be tempted to look just past it. The following is Heaven for a Gangster, is a solemn banger where EST Gee gets a little philosophical and asking some deeper questions like, do God accept survivors whose environment made them ruthless, or was I born in hell and all this shit just an illusion? Even though there is a lot of talk about killing on this album, EST Gee shows us that he can get deep and introspective from time to time. Track 11, Love is Blind, is another eerie trap ballad in which EST Gee raps fiercely on. He has some cold-blooded bars like, we gotta drive, whoever trying to collide know it's suicide, love is blind, so is my left eye, so fuck the other side. Afterwards is X, which is a hard-hitting banger, although topically and instrumentally, it started to feel repetitive. While I don't consider this to be a bad record, it's not likely one I'll return to. Whereas track 13, Get 'em Gee, offers more variety due to his flow switch up and a wavier sounding beat, and the hook was also pretty addicting. He flexes more of his ruthless side with, they say I scare all the monsters, shit, I'm a monster myself. And there he goes again with more of that self-reflection that I was talking about. Track 14, Sabotage with Bryson Tiller, is proof that EST Gee isn't just killing his ops all day long. He does still manage to find time to do regular relationship things. Sure, it is a break from the grim shooter talk, but sonically this one just didn't do it for me and felt a bit forced. While the subsequent song, Double Back, finds him speaking on women as well, but it's set to a more standard dark trap beat, but I ended up liking Double Back more than Sabotage, but still, I wish the beat could have been a little wavier and smoother. I think that would have made it pop more. But it was really at this point in the album where I began to tap out as a listener, as instrumentally and subject matter wise, it all started to sound the same. Track 16, I Won't Let It Kill Me, is a return to his Lil Durk and Polo G styled singing hooks. It's not a bad record, but not one that I'm too keen on either. Track 17 is Death Around the Corner with MGK. So I'm not a big MGK fan, but I gotta admit he didn't do awful here. Still, the song was a little redundant, just like the following three songs, Get It Going, Voices in My Head, and Forever. Thankfully though, the album does end on a high note with The Realist featuring Jeezy. The two Trey bars over some triumphant horns. It's a certified street anthem. So while I feel EST Gee had a solid verse, let's face it, this one was all about Jeezy, who sounded the best that he has in years. And I'm hoping the next Jeezy album contains, this same level of enthusiasm and same delivery. Overall, I give this project a rating of 3.5 mics. Now, had it been trimmed down to about 14 to 15 songs, it would have received a higher rating. Instrumentally, I found it very repetitive to get past track 13 if I'm keeping it a buck. Now, perhaps this is just me, but I started to check out at this point. It's a shame too, because this album did have some good things going for it, but I want to highlight the main one, and that was his rapping ability, which seemed to improve quite a bit from his last release. Like, he was really going in on a lot of these records. I know the shooter talk and the op talk can be heavy at times from EST Gee, but he did give the listener some lines to reflect upon, and there were definitely some bars that were rewind worthy, which is always a plus, especially when it's coming from a trap artist. I did find his singing to be hit or miss though, and while I do applaud him for experimenting with the hooks and with the singing, I feel he did overdo it at times on this album. But at the end of the day, it is a solid release that shows him as one of the more lyrical trap rappers out. It's quality street music, plain and simple. My favorite tracks include Have Mercy, Come Home, I Can't Feel a Thing, Both Arms, Blood, Love is Blind, Get 'em Gee, and The Realist. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. EST Gee, I Never Felt Nun. 1.